सबको सादर नमस्ते जी. Today is Thursday, January 11th, 2024, and we are now going to begin our session on Sandhya Upaasanaa and Mantra Swadhyaya. Our speaker today is Ananya ji from Arya Vaidik Temple at Atlanta.
नमस्ते एवरीवन.
नमस्ते जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है अनन्या जी संध्या उपासना में. तो जब भी कन्वीनियंट हो आप प्लीज स्टार्ट करिए.
जी धन्यवाद जी. लेट्स सिट स्ट्रेट with our spine erect. Close our eyes gently. We'll start Sandhya straight. We'll begin by chanting God's primary name, His supreme name, Om. Let's inhale deeply, and while exhaling, we'll chant Om. Again inhale. Once again inhale. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. The mantra Shanno Devi. In this we pray to God to bless us with both worldly and spiritual upliftment. May our both temporal and eternal goals be fulfilled. May we are bestowed with both worldly and eternal bliss. ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शंयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ वाक् वाक् ॐ प्राणः प्राणः ॐ चक्षुः चक्षुः ॐ श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम् ॐ नाभिः ॐ हृदयम् ॐ कण्ठः ॐ शिरः ॐ बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम् ॐ करतलकरपृष्ठे ॐ भुः पुनातु शिरसि ॐ भुवः पुनातु नेत्रयोः ॐ स्वः पुनातु कण्ठे ॐ महः पुनातु हृदये ॐ जनः पुनातु नाभ्याम् ॐ तपः पुनातु पादयोः ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः शिरसि ॐ खं ब्रह्म पुनातु सर्वत्र ॐ भुः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम्. Take a deep breath in and exhale the breath forcefully out and hold the breath outside to your capacity. When uneasiness is felt, then release the breath slowly. Take few deep breaths. Focus on your state of mind. Om Swaha. He is the bestower of happiness. He is the giver of joy. He is the giver of all abundance. He is the giver of both worldly and spiritual knowledge. He is the source of all happiness. Be focused on this divine attribute of God. He is Swaha, bestower of happiness and bliss. ॐ ऋतं च सत्यं चाभिधात्तपसोऽध्यजायत ततो रात्र्यजायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधद्विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वमकल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टाय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ प्राचीदिगग्निरधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्या इषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो नक्षत्रेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजं भेदत्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रोऽधिपतिस्तिरश्चिराजि रक्षिता पितर इषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो नक्षत्रेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ प्रतीचेदिग्वरुणोऽधिपतिः प्रीदाको रक्षितान्नमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो नक्षत्रेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ उदीचेदिक्सोमोऽधिपतिः स्वजो रक्षिता शनिरिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो नक्षत्रेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं भोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कल्माषग्रीवो रक्षिता विरुधैषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो नक्षत्रेभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं विश्मस्तं भोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वादिक्बृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्वित्रो रक्षिता वर्षमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो वस्तु योऽस्मान्वेष्टियं वयं विश्मस्तं भोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्परिस्वः पश्यन्त उत्तरम् देवं देवत्रा सूर्यमगन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ उदुत्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतवः दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवानामुद्गादनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः आप्राद्या वा पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्थु शस्य स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्तात् शुक्रमुच्चरत् पश्येम शरदः शतं जीवेम शरदः शतं शृणुयाम शरदः शतं प्रब्रवाम शरदः शतम् अदीनाः स्याम शरदः शतं भूयश्च शरदः शतात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपयानेन जपोपासनादिकर्मणा धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां सद्यः सिद्धिर्भवेन्नः ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयोभवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च ॐ शान्तिः 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 Let's rub our palms, cover our closed eyes, take away our palms. Let me share the mantra for today. Okay.
Hold on, let me make
Yeah.
you a co-host.
जी.
Okay, you are co-host now.
जी. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah. This mantra, again, I have chosen a pranayam mantra. I thought there are few more concepts, few more ideas, and few more benefits how pranayam helps us to get rid of bad desires and how it helps us to get inside, how it becomes a gateway to enter into our inner world. So I thought, let me share another mantra from the Pranayam Sukt of Rigved. So this is the first mandal and the 37th sukta, that is the pranayam sukta, and this is the second mantra. This entire sukta talks about the mainly the benefits of pranayam. The first mantra, that was that mantra says that while doing pranayam, one enables to get rid of his desires, one becomes enabled to turn his body into a beautiful chariot, turn into a chariot, which chariot means a vehicle, chariot means a tool, a means, because this body acts like a tool for us to reach to our ultimate destination of liberation, of emancipation. So this is a long journey. Though this physical body keeps on changing, our subtle body, which consists of mind, intellect, internalized senses, that remain the same. So they in combination become a chariot. ये एक रथ की तरह बनते हैं and takes us to our destination only if we keep them healthy, only if we keep them vigorous enough, strengthy enough. And pranayam helps us to reach there. And first mantra also says that the one who does pran sadhana, who does pranayam, he develops that sportsman's spirit, which I also discussed with you last time, that one proceeds in life not with the intention of winning or defeating someone, winning over someone, or putting somebody else, or stepping ahead of somebody else, but only one proceeds for his own progress, for his own for his gain, for the gain or for the upliftment of his own life. That becomes his sole motive. Now this second mantra, this also talks in detail about the benefits of pranayam. This mantra looks little complex, but its meaning is very useful and very impressive. The way it talks about the benefits of pranayam, ye. So here in this word ye, it it comes from the previous mantra, which I told you that those people who do pranayam, and if we break down the words of this mantra, it's in the last line, ye prishati bhihi, rishti bhihi, sakam vashi bhihi, anji bhihi, ajayanta swabhanavah. So this mantra says, ye those people who do pranayam. Uh, let's focus on the last two words. Ajayanta swabhanavah. Bha means illuminate, bha means raise, bhati means chamakna, to illuminate, swa. So those people who do pranayam, ajayanta, they turn into, they change their life into in such a way that they shine, they illuminate swa with their own light. They shine with the light of their soul. Their virtues they shine with the virtues at the level of soul. How does one enable to reach to that state? Before reaching that final state, he also gets all these benefits. Prishati bhihi, rishti bhihi, sakam vashi bhihi, anji bhihi. Prishati bhi. Prish means, like we know in Sanskrit, if we have to send or deliver something, we call it as preshan, bhejana, to send. So that person is blessed with those mental activities. He is, by regulating his vital air, by regulating his pran, he is filled with, his heart is filled with those thoughts which helps him to reach to his soul, which becomes the guide for his soul, which becomes a guiding principle for his soul. And he is also blessed with sakam vashibhi. Sakam means sath. Vashibhi, Vashi Ashirvad. So it is basically here Vashibhi means he is blessed with the inner voice of God. He becomes capable to listen to the inner voice of God. That's what happens with us in our day-to-day life, that many a times when we tend to do something uh, which is not in line with the dharma, which is not exactly in line with virtuousness, we tend to do we many a times tend to speak something, or we speak something, we act something which we should not, and we regret lately, because even at that time, even if there are other thoughts which, for example, let's take an example of a person who gets very angry very frequently. So many a times it may happen with him that he takes a determination or resolve that I would better control myself the next time the same situation comes, but he still forgets. He is not able to connect to his inner soul. He is not able to connect to his inner thoughts. He is not able to connect to his inner resolve. He forgets that. So, to stabilize that thing in our life, when one does pranayam, his mind and his thoughts and his internal senses, when as gradually they come in his control, he is able to connect to its inner soul. He is able to connect to the inner voice of God. That's what it says. He is blessed with, we can also say he is blessed with the voice of God. He is blessed with the knowledge, with that eternal knowledge, that he remains balanced enough and he remains stabilized enough to act properly. And how does that happen? Rishtibhihi. It comes from the word Rit. Rit means eternal truth. I think most of us understand there are two kinds of truth. One is Satya, which is relative truth, and Rit means which is eternal truth, which is truth forever. Because when I say the truth which is relative, because at this point of time, here in America, time is 6:25, and in India, the time is not the same. So if I tell somebody now the time is 6:25 p.m. without mentioning the place where I am at this moment right now, so it becomes a relative truth, because the time in other time zones it is different. But the Rith, the eternal truth, are that are those things which remains in that particular state forever. So in that category comes soul, the supreme God, and those fundamental constituent particles through which this entire world is created. Those are called Saturajtam particles. So one becomes enabled to reach to that eternal truth, means one gets the ability to know or to realize or to experience the soul, the supreme God, and those fundamental particles. One gets that eligibility, one gets that competence to reach there. And this is also this can also be understood as one is blessed with Ritambhara Prajya. That comes in Yog Darshan, that one when one proceeds on the path of yoga, and when pranayam is also one of the limb of that yoga, so he is blessed with Ritambhara Prajya. Ritambhara Prajya means which which fills the one with the eternal truth, which enables one to see the truth, to which enables or which blesses one with the wisdom to see the things clearly, to experience the things clearly, because many a times we are not able to analyze the situation well. We are not able to analyze the people around us well. We are not able to take the right decisions for ourselves because our mind is clouded, our intellect is clouded. We are not able to see through the things. But when one does pranayam, so when I over and over say pranayam, so it's not just the pranayam. There are other things as well, yam, niyam, asan, and one's determination, one's austerity, one's dedication to actions. So all these things come together, then one is blessed with. But yes, pranayam is one of the greatest um, constituent. Ritambhara, one is blessed with that Ritambhara Prajya. And Anjibhi. Anjibhi means Anjan. Anjan means Anjan we say as kajal, which one applies to his or her eyes to look beautiful. So that's what it says, that one gets adored, one gets ornated with the virtues. One by his nature becomes virtuous. So that's all the benefits of doing pranayam, that one shines in his life, one rises in his life, one illuminates in his life because he is blessed with Ritambhara Prajya. He is able to realize or experience the, the eternal truths in his life, that who am I? What is my true identity? I am not body, I am not the mind, I am not this breath, I am far beyond this. One gets the capability to transcend his mind and intellect and to reach to his inner self. And when one is blessed with this Ritambhara Prajya, with that level of intellect, he becomes enabled to listen to that inner voice of God, which fills Prishati Bhi, which fills his heart with delight, because they become the guiding principle for him to reach to the soul. His thoughts, his tendencies, they all get changed, and he becomes naturally inclined to understand, to perceive the reality of this creation and the reality of self. So this is the essence of this mantra. Now, how does all that happen? To understand this, let's go in little more detail. How does pranayam helps one to reach there? Because I think we all have studied Satyarth Prakash from Acharya Hari Prasad ji, and while he was teaching that, so we also studied ninth chapter, wherein Panch Kosh are discussed. So the because uh, actually that particular topic, it talks about that our entire body is consists of five shed, five layers. If one aspires to reach to his soul, if one aspires to reach to his inner self, then he needs to understand all those five koshas. One needs to know about that, one needs to understand that, one needs to perceive that in the right sense, and then he can then one gets the capability, one gets the competence to experience his inner self. For example, the first kosh, the first layer is the annamaya kosh, that is our this physical body. So this is the physical body which is made up of flesh and bones and blood and all that stuff, and one needs to keep it healthy with the right kind of food, with right exercise, and so now below this shet comes this pranamaya kosh. This pranamaya kosh consists of this very vital layer. As we maintain, as we take care of our physical body, so we need to take care of our pran, so we need to take care of this vital layer, so we need to exercise or regulate these vital layers, because pran is the thing which connects my physical body to my internal body, to my soul. So the more we keep them in healthy state, we keep our pranayam in the healthy state, in the controlled state, it becomes the gateway to enter into our internal world. It becomes a gateway to scan our thoughts. It becomes a gateway to analyze our mind. It becomes a gateway to understand what is going on in my mind. That detail we have already done, that when we control our breath, then how my mind comes in my control, because when I long for that next breath, all my mind and senses come in my control. So that is the theory which works behind it. Now, by doing this pranayam, what happens, as Yog Darshan also says, tatha kshiyate prakash avaranam. that over and over Ved mantra says that when one practices pranayam, he shines or he illuminates with knowledge, with true knowledge. And that's what Yog Darshan also says, that at that time there is avaran, there is a covering, there is a veil over illumination, over the prakash, and that that kshiyate, that reduces, that covering is thinned, that covering is attenuated by the regular practice of pranayam. Here illumination means, when I say कि प्रकाश के ऊपर आवरण छाया हुआ है, there is a covering over the illumination. Here illumination refers to our discerning capabilities. Illumination refers to our capabilities to distinguish between right and wrong, to differentiate between truth and false. That's what happens with us in most of the cases, that we are not able to take the right decision at the right time. Whether I should eat or not, I should say these, I should say or I should not say, what words I should speak, what time I should get to sleep, and what time I should get up. So every time throughout the day, we have to take a series of decisions. So our intellect should be stabilized. Our intellect should work for us. It should not work against us. So I should be able to see through the things, and I should be able to take the right decision for myself. But when there is a veil, there is a covering, and that covering is because of our past actions, because of our past sanskars. We have developed preconceptions. Whenever we talk to someone, whenever we have to take decision, whenever I have to take decision regarding whether I should eat something or not, I am always preoccupied with my preconceived ideas, and I am not able to take the right decision, and that propels us again towards the impure, or towards the actions which are not good for me. Now, let's understand it through the example of, through a shlok of Gita. Gita also says that dhyayato vishyan punsah sangashteshu upajayate. This is the second 62 shlok of second chapter of Gita. Sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodho vijayate. And the very next slok says, Krodat bhavati sammohah, sammohat smriti vibhramah, smriti भ्रमात buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. So it says, what happens that whenever our life entirely depends upon where am I paying attention to, where my mind is focused, where my mind is directed to. And entire yoga sadhana, entire pran sadhana, it is related to bring my focus onto those things which are beneficial for me, because otherwise I over and over tend to the pleasure of senses. I over and over enjoy or inclined to experience more and more the worldly pleasure. So I need to bring my attention um, back to my inner world, back to what is right for me, back to what I know, what I have read, what I keep listening to, but I need to align my life according to those thoughts. So this entire practices, this entire sadhana is to align that. So that's what Gita says, that when we contemplate over and over on the subjects of senses, of eating, of viewing something, of listening to something, then attachment is developed towards that. And Sangat Sanjayate Kama, when attachment is developed, then desire is created in me to fulfill that desire, to satiate that desire. And when I aspire to achieve something, to experience some pleasure in my life, and if I am not able, then two more problems arise in my life. If I am able to satiate my desire, then greed rises. Then, because that becomes a fuel for my desire, I over and over want to satiate that desire again. I want to experience that food. I want to talk to a particular person. over and over. I get that inclination. And if that desire is not fulfilled, then generates anger. That's what it says. Kamat krodha. If that desire is not fulfilled, then anger is then anger rises because my desire is obstructed. Reason can be any other person, reason can be my ill health, reason can be anything. But if my desires are not fulfilled, I do not feel good about it. And from that anger comes the clouding of judgment. My faculty of judgment descends. That's what it calls. That's when कि प्रकाश के ऊपर आवरण आ जाता है. That's when I'm not able to take the right decision for myself. Either I'm occupied with greed, or I'm occupied with anger, or I'm occupied with some past memory of some uh, miseries I have went through in my life. It can be any other thought. Whenever any of these thoughts pull me from the center of my mind, whenever these distractions take me from the steady state of my mind, I am not able to take the right decision for myself. And when my judgment, my discerning power, my ability to differentiate between right and wrong, when it goes away, then Sammohat Smriti Vibhrama, my memory becomes bewildered. I am not able to think clearly. And Smriti Bhranshat Buddhi Nasho, and when my memory becomes bewildered, then my internal guide, my intellect, that also becomes misdirected. And when my intellect is not in the right direction, when I'm not able to take the right decision for myself, I get ruined. Then uh, then things become unfavorable to me, and I get lost with the loss of my judgment. And but by doing pranayam, once that's what Yog Darshan says, that when one does pranayam on a regular basis, his intellect start to become declouded. He is able to think clearly because his control for his emotions, because otherwise one simply gets swayed by the surge of his emotions. Whatever comes, whatever obstructions come in his way, he is not able to take pause. But one's capability to take pause, to hold on to his actions, to hold on to his thoughts, that rises with pranayam. Because that's what Yog Darshan says, Dharanasu cha yogyata manasaha. By the regular practice of pranayam, one's ability to do dharana, to fix one's mind onto one thought, onto one object, onto one idea, that rises, and patience increases. So before jumping onto any decision, before jumping onto any thought, we we become unable to pause ourselves, to take some time to think deeply, and then we take our decision. We do not get carried away by our emotions. That's how pranayam helps us to get stabilized in dharana, and then dharana, stabilizing our mind, fixing our mind on our thoughts, and not to react or respond instantly without giving proper thought to oneself. That level increases. But yes, that we will experience only by doing it, only by practicing it. I think that's all regarding this month and the benefit of pranayam for today. If you have
Uh,
any questions, you can ask.
yeah, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself, then ask. I think there are no more questions. So
जी,
please आप संध्या अपना शांति पाठ कर दीजिए, then we can close the session.
sure. Let's close our eyes. ॐ द्यौ शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जुड़ने का। आई थिंक यू गिव अ वेरी गुड एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ तथाक्षीयते प्रकाशावरणम। कैसे ये इग्नोरेंस या इग्नोरेंस कह लो या नॉट हैविंग द राइट knowledge or previous sanskar affect us in discerning what is right from wrong. And pranayam helps in removing that avaran from that vivek. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you everybody for joining with us today. And I am going to close the session. There are no further programs by APSA tonight. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. धन्यवाद.